Why, hello everybody. Well, welcome back to the Monster Mash. This probably is a bad idea. Reason being, first off, it's been a while. I think it's almost been a month. Apologies for that. Things happen, life happens, and sometimes you just you need inspiration. For these kinds of videos, I need inspiration on like something to talk about. But yeah, I'm not sober right now, so if I do or say something really fucked up in the course of this video, I can blame it on that. Because we're gonna talk about some like deep things that I would still talk about this if I was sober. I want to talk about being chronically alone. What a great topic, I know. Well, first off, hold on. I actually have a bunch of stuff I want to talk about. So we're playing Monster Hunter Freedom Unite today. Not only that, but we're also doing multiplayer hunts. As you might have noticed in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, that is my Twitch chat. This video is about a year old. What? Did I start? No. I was streaming on Twitch when I played Freedom Unite. Yeah, so this footage is about a year old, maybe a little bit more. So it's not exactly my latest adventures. This is pre-recorded. I didn't feel like actually sitting down and playing Monster Hunter tonight, so I'm just like digging through old stream footage. I hope you guys don't mind. You know, it lets me make more of these things in different styles of games, and I've got a bunch of streams to go back on. So there's gonna be some footage uncovered here that some of you might even remember watching back when I used to stream on Twitch.tv. So I guess what I said earlier, what we're talking about today is being chronically alone. And when I say that, I know that conjures up a lot of very specific caricatures that you may have seen online when I say the phrase being chronically alone. And I don't mean like oh, girls won't fuck me kind of way. Like, I'm not an incel. But, because this expands to more than just, interpersonal and intimate relationships. This is also about professional relationships. This is gonna be shit that's specific to me. Well, actually, that half has been mitigated a little bit, like right before I started recording. So I have something. I guess it goes to show that you can always have something to look forward to. But anyway, the thing that I wanted to get to, I'm probably not making any fucking sense right now. The thing that I wanted to get to is being chronically alone. I guess, yeah. This may sound incredibly pathetic. I probably wouldn't talk about this if I was sober. I haven't been on like an actual date with another human being in probably close to 5 years at this point. And I know that there are people worse than me. I know that there are people who are even more chronically alone. But I feel like this is like a normal amount of it. You know what I mean when I say that? Like, when you see the people online who are just like, oh, I've never been on a date once in my life and nobody wants to talk to me. Like, that's incel. I feel like that's that heavy amount of no pussy. There are female incels too. But that amount of being chronically alone, that is a whole different issue. But what I'm talking about is like, you have friendships. Like, you have family that tries their best to support you. You have friends that you talk to every day on Discord because you don't actually go out and talk with people. And that's kind of the root of the problem, is that you don't go out and talk to people. And this is partially my fault. Like, I'm willing to fully reflect on the fact that, like, hey, the reason why I probably haven't been on a date in 5 years, and the reason why I never go out and hang out with real life people is, just because I don't make an effort to do that. So is it okay for me to be upset about it? I don't even know. Because if it's my own fault, then there's really no reason to be upset about it. But I think this might also like play into the whole low self-esteem thing that I talked about in videos a while ago. Because I have like extremely low self-esteem to like okay, you know what? Yeah, this might actually come from it. So the reason I don't go out is because I think, well, nobody wants to hang out with me anyway, so it's fine. Not like I'm mad at them. It's just like, well, why would they? I'm an extremely boring person. I don't really do much of anything. I don't exactly have good plans of I don't have good ideas of what going out means. So nobody does, it's a cyclical thing, you know? Um, I don't go out ever. And I don't go out on dates. I don't go out on dates because it's like, not from a lack of trying. Like, I tried a few years ago. Like every male in current year, I have attempted the Twitter gambit. I've even used Bumble before. And I think there was one other. I don't know. I've explored a bunch of different like communities and tried to like be out there. But being a guy, being on the internet, liking the things that I like, being the way that I am, I recognize is not exactly enticing for women out there. And I know, like, it's... by the way, I am... This is not out of, like, defensiveness or hatred. It's just kind of the truth. I am very straight. I can recognize when a man is attractive, but I don't see myself being with a man. Does that make sense? I feel like that's weird to be just completely straight, but the amount of people that I know who are, like, trans, gay, bi, fucking, whatever, it's not... I feel like that's more uncommon these days. Not because it's a bad thing. I'm sounding like such a fucking boomer when I say this. I don't mean to say that I hate gay people. I don't. I'm just not gay. Anyway, I'm sure if I was, it would be a little bit easier for me, probably. But truth of the matter is I'm just not. I don't know. It might still be difficult, but who cares? All this saying... I probably make no fucking sense right now. All this to say that the way that I am is not exactly enticing to most women out there. I wouldn't exactly blame anybody for not wanting to be with me. And I feel like that's a problem that I feel that way. Because it's like, I'm extremely bad at selling myself. To women, to potential business partners, that's another thing I want to get into at some point. Just networking in general, it's not exactly my strong suit, and I always feel awkward and not... I feel extremely awkward when I'm trying to present my skills and I'm trying to talk about myself, because every time I talk about myself, you know what I feel like I'm doing? I feel like I'm being that guy. And I know that there's a lot of ways to interpret the phrase, that guy. What I mean is, like, I'm that guy who can't stop talking about himself and is so egotistical and is so like, ooh, yeah, ooh, me, yeah, it's all about me, yeah, it's all about me. I don't want to be that guy, and so I guess out of overcorrection for that, my brain has told me, oh, so then you should never talk highly of yourself ever then, because that will make you be humble or whatever. And I know that doesn't make any fucking sense. I know that I'm supposed to talk about myself, and I'll get into, like, why in a little bit. I know I'm supposed to network when I go out to places, but it's scary. I don't like it. I don't feel good doing it. I feel like kind of a piece of shit when I network, but, like, that's the whole point of it, is you're supposed to talk about yourself. I'd probably just completely repeated myself there. So yeah, I don't go out, I don't network because I have low self-esteem, and all of this looping finally back around to, me being chronically alone. And it's also the business partner thing. That fear has been pushed back a little bit today because, like, right before I started recording. So I'm driving home from work, and I'm like, man, I guess there's more context needed for this. So, at the coffee shop that I work at, there's a regular guy who comes in, and his name is fucking Tomar. There you go. Yeah, his name is Joshua Tomar. It wasn't actually Joshua Tomar. I'm just gonna call him Tomar to fucking hide his identity, just in case he watches this video. So Tomar comes in, and he's an extrovert. He talks to people. He tries to talk to us when we're doing our stuff, which is totally cool, and I would happily have a conversation with him. And I have. We talked about movies one time, so it led into this. So we were talking about, I think, the Mario movie, and I offhandedly mentioned, like, yeah, I have a bit of a higher standard for movies just because I make them. or like for editing in particular, because I do editing for live action stuff and for Let's Plays and all that stuff. So I have like a particular eye for it. And I'm explaining this stuff to him, and he goes, whoa, 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 you do video editing? And I'm like, yeah. And so we get to talking, and he's like, bro, like, I want to fucking hire you for this thing. And I'm like, sick. And then a different character, we'll call Tom. So Tom comes in, and he is basically the same thing. He runs a small business here in my city. And so we get to talking about video stuff. And I same thing. I offhandedly mentioned that I've been doing YouTube and I've been doing video editing for years and years. And he's like, bro, I'm trying to start my own fucking media company. And I'm like, what? And, yeah. And so I have two potential people that I could be working with in doing video editing and like actually applying the things I've been teaching myself for the past 15 fucking years of my life. And one of them ghosted me. I tried to reach out. I'm going to probably send him an email again tonight. Just to see. And I sent Tomar an email today, like right as I got home. I was driving home from work, and I'm like, man, Tomar hasn't got back to me. Tom hasn't gotten back to me. You know, the things that I've been wanting to do, like I tried to scream into the void for people who followed me who might think that they want to work with me and never got a response, though that probably was never going to get a response in the first place. It didn't help. You know, it makes me think that like, oh, it's probably me then. Like, people don't want to work with me because I'm probably like a fucking loser, right? Like, they don't want to be associated with me. Holy shit, we're only halfway through this thing. I just saw the timeline, man. Life is just moving in slow motion. Yeah, I'm probably not exactly thinking highly of myself. I think that is a problem. I think that initial problem really branches out and becomes a whole lot of the other things that I've been talking about on this channel. So, but Tomar did get back to me like right before I started recording. So he's gonna call me tomorrow, probably while I'm working on my friend's PC. So we're gonna keep going on to this. It like the being chronically alone thing. And again was a little bit mitigated because one of my friends, close friends, we got to talking, and he's like, yeah, here's $2,400, fucking build me a PC, and $400 is like my gratuity for actually doing the work. So he's just like, here's $2,000 and $400 for you, build me a computer. And I'm like, shit. And so I put together, like, I woke up today at like 8 a.m. No, I woke up at like 9 a.m. 9 a.m. we got to text in, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll throw together a parts list and I'll send it to you today. An hour later, I have the first draft of the list already done. And that we discussed making that list for like another hour because we had a bunch of other potential things that we were worrying about. Like I was wondering, like, oh, do you need to reuse any parts? Or do you want this card over this card? Do you care about this feature or that feature? You know, obviously that was an hour-long conversation, which was, again, pretty short. So by 11, the final part list had been decided. The parts had been ordered. I'm gonna go pick them up tomorrow, as of recording this video, and I'm gonna put together a PC. So we get to talking 2-day turnaround, not a day and a half turnaround. I think that that's pretty good. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of how I would advertise that, I guess is the question. Because I don't want to be that guy working at the coffee shop, like I'm at the register at the end of your order. Oh, thank you, ma'am, we'll have your coffee ready in a little bit. By the way, do you need a PC built? Like, how do I tell? It's like being an editor. How do I initiate conversations about video editing and building computers with regular people? If I'm talking to like YouTube people, oh yeah, no, I can very easily strike up a conversation about that kind of shit. But I'm talking to Tomar, a veteran who runs a nonprofit who doesn't know jack shit about technology. How the fuck am I going to initiate a kind of conversation about video editing or building computers and things that I am good at and things that like I'm actually very knowledgeable in? Well, okay. Damn it! My brain just did it again, where it's just like, oh, I'm very knowledgeable in video editing, but it's like, oh, there's probably 20 million editors out there. Like, no, probably like a billion editors out there that are more knowledgeable than me, but whatever. There's a whole self-esteem thing. Yeah, how do I initiate these kinds of fucking conversations? How... I don't regularly have conversations about computers with people. Surprising, I know. Yeah, it's just, these events have been happening a lot over the past few years. And so, like, I haven't done any significant work with video editing in a couple of years, though that was, mostly due to COVID. And my channel took off. That's another. The main channel, quote unquote, took off. I'm at 23, 20. No, I'm at like 2,600 now. Am I? I don't know. Man, I'm almost at 3,000. That's cool. Yeah, so I guess that could be like my big success, but that doesn't like, I'm not getting immediately paid from that. So it's like, so it almost feels like that I've wasted my time because I'm not able to support myself on the thing that I have learned. And then my film buddy is like, bro, people need you. They just don't know who you are. And even thinking about that sentence is kind of crazy. Because again, it's just, how do I initiate that? There could be, like, I've been walking down the street, and I don't want to fucking post in filmmaker fucking Facebook groups or fucking subreddits. I really don't want to do that. Because all of those fucking things are just people screaming into the void hoping that someone hires them. And I don't find that productive, I want to, like, talk to a person and initiate some sort of rapport with them. Or build up that rapport with them, where we can talk about this thing, and he knows how I am, and I know how he is, or she, or whoever, I don't really care. But you get a feel of each other's personalities and behaviors, just a little bit. More so than you would just talking to some random fuckwit on Facebook, The face-to-face makes it easier to talk shop with people. Talking shop over the internet is always bizarre, because you never know how you're being responded to, I guess. Reacted to. There you go. You never know what other people's reactions are, really. And it's hard to, like, emote online through text, So it's always bizarre to, read people's... Okay, when I was trying to do some online jobs, here's a perfect example. I was reading emails from the person who was scheduled to hire me. It was the wife and co-owner of the business and guy I've never spoken to. But I'm reading her emails, and I'm reading it as very serious, very stern, very, get the job done. And then I finally actually hear her voice and talk to her, and she's like, "Hey, honey, how you doing today?" She wasn't exactly like that, but, she wasn't exactly like that, but she was very, like, sing-songy and very southern. And I'm just like, wow, that is a complete fucking opposite feeling to what I got from reading your emails. Yeah, it's just... we have gone on some tangents today. Man, I don't know if I can even use this fucking footage. Oh man, I thought I ran out of footage like 30 minutes ago, dude. We're at minute 19 of like 20 something. By the way, Freedom Unite, very slow game. This has all been the same hunt. This whole video has been one single Sanitar hunt in Freedom Unite. Were we under-geared? Yes. That's probably why it took so long. And also, two-player scaling in this game just didn't fucking exist. So the game is expecting us to have a full fucking party of 4, but we're only 2 guys, so we're just not DPSing as fast as 4. You know what I mean? That was probably another reason why this hunt takes so long. Probably because I'm playing Hunting Horn, one of the slowest weapons in the game, and my buddy Aaron, aka Hugh Jass, he's playing Greatsword. You don't exactly attack quickly with any of these weapons. So I don't fucking know, bro. What was I even talking about? Oh yeah, Freedom Unite. We're playing Freedom Unite. Yeah. Bro, this footage is unusable, and I'm only getting more gone by the minute. Holy shit. I don't know if you can tell, but my sinuses always swell up when I'm inebriated. And so I can't exactly breathe out of my nostrils right now. Because my sinuses go down my sinuses. I can still breathe. Don't worry. It's just that I can only really breathe out my fucking mouth right now, and I'm a bit of a mouth breather right now. I said a stupid fucking sentence there. Yeah, maybe this was a bad idea to record this video like this, because I have just been kind of having my eyes closed, rocking back and forth, and just kind of saying whatever the fuck comes out of my mouth. I don't... Okay, you want to know what being this messed up is like? Oh, we finally killed it. Good lord. You know what being in this state feels like? It feels like, you know what? Fuck. It feels like your body is just doing things, and your perception is lagging behind that of your body. So you're just kind of like passively watching what happens, but you can't react until like a solid second later, and your body just does things. It's a bizarre thing to say. Anyway, I'm gonna start talking about the email. You can email MonsterMashMailbox, I think is what it is. MonsterMashMail mailbox. Yeah, MonsterMashMailbox at gmail.com. And there you can send in questions, comments, video ideas, things maybe you want brought up, Q&A stuff. I've said questions twice. I'm repeating myself. Even if it's not a full video topic, I'll still try to email you back at least once. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed this garbage. Have a good night, everybody.